Chester County History Center Library presents History and Haunts, a special series that takes a look at some of Chester County's spookiest topics and traditions. Through a careful lens on the past, we'll explore ghostly sightings, folklore, and legends that help shape some of the supernatural lore of our region. So settle in and join us as we journey into the eerie echoes of Chester County's history. When most people think of witch trials, they picture Salem. But decades earlier, Pennsylvania had its own reckonings with fear and the unseen. The colony's first recorded witch trial occurred in 1683 when a Swedish settler, Margaret Matson, was accused of bewitching her neighbor's cattle. William Penn himself presided, and the jury was hesitant to abandon reason and did not succumb to hysteria. They found her guilty only of possessing the reputation of a witch and not of actually practicing witchcraft. It was a verdict of balance, skeptical, restrained, yet still shaped by lingering fear that invisible powers could disturb the social order. That balance defined Chester County's relationship with witchcraft. Here, the term rarely meant broomsticks or black magic. It meant difference. To be called a witch was to live beyond accepted boundaries, to heal unconventionally, or speak out of turn, or simply exist apart. A century after Matson, a woman named Moll Otley would inherit that role. Her legend, though now widely considered to be more fiction than fact, reflects how poverty, gender, and social isolation could blend into a kind of moral accusation. The Witch of Chester County was not a sorceress, but a symbol, a projection of fear onto whoever stood at the margins of belief. The legend of Mary Moll Otley tells less about witchcraft than about how communities define outsiders. According to the History of Chester County, produced by Futhi and Cope in 1881, neighbors accused the widowed Otley of cursing a child, forcing her to walk across salt and weighing her against a Bible. Yet the records of these events remain elusive. Archival research reveals a different story. Mary Otley lived in deep poverty. Her husband Jonas was blind and dependent on township aid. Mary herself often received firewood and food from local overseers. In 1765, George Ashbridge, a wealthy mill owner, was once tried for assaulting her, suggesting conflict between classes as much as superstition. Even earlier, court minutes from 1744 record the examination of an Anne and Mary Otley over a child's death. No conviction followed, but the rumor alone may have shadowed her for life. In a world that equated poverty with moral weakness, these stains easily hardened into myth. And so by the 1800s, local historians romanticized Otley's suffering into cautionary tale. She became the Witch of Westtown, a figure used to mark the edge of respectability. Her story endures not as evidence of belief in magic, but of proof of how communities transform misfortune into folklore. Thanks for joining us. We hope you enjoyed this tale from Chester County's eerie history. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and please check out the other videos in this series if you're hungry for more.